Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me for this acrylic painting tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to paint a poinsettia little arrangement. We're going to have a wood background. It's going to be, I'm going to try to simplify this image a little bit, but I'm really looking forward to painting this one for you today. I've got my husband Mark with me.
Hey there, everybody.
He's been on chat during our live show today, so if you have questions while I'm painting, you can ask those, and I'll try to answer them. Let's get started. Alrighty, so I've prepped my canvas. I'm using a 9x12 inch Linen Pro Series archival canvas board from Fredrix today, and this is kind of my go-to canvas. I really like the 9x12 size because it's good for the camera, but you could use any size canvas you wanted. It would actually look really nice on a like a cropped square also. So really any size that you want, but this is the one I'm using today, and I used yellow oxide, watered down quite a bit with a little bit of glazing medium just to kind of wash over the background to tone it for us before we start today. So thank you to Fredrix for our canvas today. They're our canvas sponsor. Awesome. Super great to work with. I've got a couple brushes. I think I'm going to use the 2-inch just so I have a little bit more control. So I've got a large flat 2-inch Aspen from Princeton. They are a brush sponsor, so thank you to them for our brushes. Yeah. I don't get paid to say that. I just It's kind of a win-win because I was already using their products, so it was pretty great. All right, and
Sorry.
And then I have a 12 bright, a number 2 round, a 3/8 and 1/4 inch Willows blenders, and then a 10-aught fan brush, bristle fan, and then the 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch angle brushes, a number 8 Filbert, and a number 1 round. The red handled are their Velvet Touch line, and the blue is their Select, and then these ones are the 6100 series in the green long handles. So if you're looking for those, I have a link down in the description to where I buy the my brushes from the Brush Guys. And there's a code Angela Fine Art for 5% off. So if you're looking for a Christmas present to yourself, for Christmas, you can check that out if you want to after the show. All right. And I've got a list of the recommended brushes, and all the brushes that I'm using today should be in that list. So, all right. Let me go over our colors really quick, and then we'll start painting. Got Carbon Black, Burnt Umber, Burnt Sienna, Quinacridone Burnt Orange, Yellow Oxide, Cadmium Yellow Medium, Phthalo Green Yellow Shade, Cobalt Teal, Phthalo Blue Green Shade, Ultramarine Blue, Dioxazine Purple, Quinacridone Magenta, Cadmium Red Medium and Light, and then this is Unbleached Titanium, Titanium White, and Zinc White. I've got a lot of colors out here. Just use what you've got that's similar. You don't have to have all of these colors. A lot of them are like pre-mixed colors that I use just because it speeds things up for these live shows, but you could really mix most of these colors with just like Phthalo Blue, Quinacridone Magenta, and yellow, Cadmium Yellow. You can mix these greens and you can get a similar, mix of these blues with the Quinacridone and the Phthalo Blue. So you don't have to have these colors, but it does help. All right. What am I doing? Okay, let's do the background.
Deducted.
Huh?
No points deducted.
Right, no points deducted for
not having those colors.
Right. Are we already keeping score today?
Well, yeah, of course.
The art releases.
You have to keep score.
I'm keeping track.
Make sure you know who's better than who. It's very important.
Especially with art, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sadly, that's true. I know. We're trying to fight that.
Yep.
Fight the system here. Make art accessible.
What? To all the common people?
Yeah. I know. It's amazing. I've gotten the weirdest comments sometimes with people getting mad at me for allowing, creating traceables for the paintings, saying that it was making art too easy and stuff. I was like, that's the point. I just that was like, thank you. I think you said, I know you're trying to insult me, but I kind of think that's a compliment. So I'm going to take it that way. All right, so I've mixed up kind of a light brown. I've got the Unbleached Titanium as kind of my base color, and then I grabbed quite a bit of the Burnt Umber, and then just a little bit of the Ultramarine Blue. And what that does is kind of gray that brown out and kind of create an interesting warm color. So then I went back in here just now, grabbed both of those colors kind of on the corner so that this edge has got a little bit more of that darker color, and then that side, so the brush is kind of double loaded. It's got a little bit darker on this side and a little bit lighter on this side. And then we're just going to, now we've got this nice yellow warm base back here. We're not going to cover it up completely. I'm going to hold my brush kind of perpendicular to the canvas. And if I did this right, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to, here we go. Run it across. I might get a little bit of glazing medium. It doesn't seem like it wants to flow for me. So I want it to, there we go, create kind of some lines. I'm going to use the edge of my brush. There we go. And I'm not going to worry about, I did draw in my poinsettias, but I'm realizing I'm just going to go over all of it. It'll be just easier to do it this way, and then we'll draw it in later. It's not a particularly difficult drawing. I do think that if you have a really rough canvas, it can either kind of help or hurt you. It'll create kind of these really interesting textured effects. So with the wood grain, it actually probably would be pretty helpful. If you want it really smooth though, like if you want a smooth looking kind of wood grain, you might need to cover it with a couple of coats of gesso first. You know, that's just totally optional. The gesso just kind of will smooth out any of the rough bumps, and sometimes the cheaper canvases will be fairly really highly textured. These linen canvases that I like to use are a lot smoother than a normal canvas would be, so they're easier to do these kind of techniques somewhat, but you definitely could do it on any kind of canvas. I mean, it's not, it may not look exactly like mine on the first couple rounds, so just keep that in mind. It may not have the smooth grains. You may have a little bit more bumpiness to yours. So, and you can add a little bit of water to your paint, or a little bit of your glazing liquid to kind of help make your paint a little bit more creamy, and that'll guide it, or make it more go onto your canvas a little bit more smoothly. And you can also spritz your canvas with water. That helps also on a really heavily textured canvas, to just kind of spritz it a little bit with water. Okay, that's good. You can see how we've got kind of some of these really interesting colors happening back here. So I'm going to grab some of a mix of darker color now. I'm going to get some burnt umber and black. And I'm going to also get some of that blue. And now this time I'm going to go a little bit smoother, a little bit softer. I just want to mainly darken the edges, so you can kind of pull it in from the sides a little bit and drag it towards the middle. That coat that we just put on is still a little bit wet, so it's going to help kind of blend it in a little bit. Really, you could just do a plain background for this. You don't have to have this wood grain if you don't like that look. It's up to you, totally optional to do it this way.
What kind of airplane?
What?
What kind of airplane?
I said...
You said a plain background, so... Oh, sorry. Different spelling.
Yes, honey.
Keeping you on your toes today.
Being silly today.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay.
It's my job. It's in my job description.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have to revisit that.
Contract negotiations are until like 2028 or something like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. You get what you pay for.
Since I don't pay you anything, is that what you're saying?
There you go. Set your expectations low.
Okay. Welcome to everybody watching today.
Yeah, hi.
You have a good crowd today?
There's mostly good people. You know, there's some unusual suspects in here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Unusual suspects?
Yeah. Like that Mona lady.
Ah, nice.
Some guy named Dave.
Very good.
We got all of them.
Nice. Well, hope you guys are surviving the holidays. If you celebrate where you're at. It's pretty much worldwide, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. I think I'm going to switch to a little bit smaller brush now. And I'm not going to try to clean out that brush in my water. It's just going to make my water completely full of paint. So I kind of brushed off as much as I could onto my canvas. And I'm going to wipe it on a paper towel to get as much of it off as I can for now until I can clean it out. Yeah, if you don't mind.
No,
but, well, I may have you dry this, so I'll just wait and see, have you do it all at the same time. I'll just set this aside for now and just keep it.
Wash and dry.
We'll see. Yeah, because I'm probably going to have you dry this canvas, so. But we'll see how long this part takes, and if it takes a while, I might not need you to. We'll just see. All right, so I've got a little bit of, I'm going to grab a little bit of the warmer red. So this is like a little bit of burnt sienna mixed with my burnt umber. It's still got a little bit of black in there also. And I'm going to kind of create some of these. And I'm just using my, see how I'm kind of wiggling it back and forth. Just using the edge of my brush there. I kind of used my, I didn't talk about it when I was doing that. You were distracting me with you're joking. But I used that ruler just to kind of create these lines here in my wood grain. You can leave those out if you don't like them. Just whatever you want to do. You can put as many as you want in there. This is the fun thing about this wood stuff, is you can kind of really do what you want with it. I've got tutorials for doing all kinds of different colored wood grains too. So I've got like a red one I know that I did with the rooster and red background. I think I've got white with one of the ornament or one of the wreaths that I did last year, the thankful wreath, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. Gosh, I've been doing these videos for so long, all the years. Kind of start mixing together. Mark was asking me if I had a traceable for one of our videos, and I was like, I don't know, I think so. And like it was like 2001. Yeah, and I'm like, just, it seems like just yesterday. It's like they just all kind of, we've been doing this for so long.
All your troubles seem so far away.
Well, just, over the years, they all kind of blend together in my brain. I lose track of when, how long it's been since I've done things. All right, so I think that that's pretty good. I don't want to do too much, because most of this is going to be covered up. Really, the only parts that are going to be showing are kind of like around the sides there. So, and then what I can do is also kind of create a knot. I'm just going to use the corner of my brush and sort of drag some kind of in a circle there a little bit. Let's do one over here. It's kind of just sort of dab a little semicircle and then sort of surround it with more kind of circles around the outside of it, and that kind of forms it. Okay. And then if you wanted to, like once this is dry, you could do a whole nother coat of the kind of lighter colors, but I'm not gonna do that right now because it's too wet. So I'm gonna let Mark take it and blow dry it for us, so that we've got a nice dry background for our poinsettia. I think that's one thing that people don't realize about acrylics, maybe, I don't know. I think when I first started painting with acrylics, I was very frustrated because, would try to go straight from doing that background to the next step and not wait for it to dry. And then your paints, once they do start drying, they bond together. So acrylics, as they dry, they stick together. The molecules kind of stick together, stick to canvas. And if you touch them while they're drying, while they're in that process of sticking together, they'll stick to your brush. And so they'll like pull straight off your canvas and then you won't be able to get anything else to stick to the canvas because I don't know, it's really weird how it works. But so that's why it's really important to just have a hairdryer handy. So to kind of speed up the process, you can blow dry in between your layers of acrylics and then you can kind of keep moving along. Just make sure that you don't get them too hot. You might, once you kind of blow dry it and get it dry, then kind of use the cool setting on your blow dryer to kind of cool it down, and then go from there. Oh, I forgot to give Mark this brush. Shoot. I'll just go ahead and clean it out in here. All right, and if you are not familiar with our channel, I hope you will subscribe and come back and join us. We do these live shows twice a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays. And then we also have bonus videos and content on our Patreon channel. We also offer our Patreon page. We also offer traceables for all of our projects on Patreon for just $1 for all of the traceables that you want to download. So $1 a month. No limit to the amount of traceables you can get for $1. So it's not $1 each. It's $1 for access to all the traceables. So pretty good deal. It is going to go up. We haven't raised our prices on Patreon for 2 years. We've been going since 2017 on Patreon. So actually, it'll be, is it 3 years? Yeah, it'll be 3 years, won't it?
Coming up on 3
wow.
years in February. Okay,
so yeah, so the first time in 3 years that we've raised our prices on Patreon will be going up to $2 for the traceables. So if you've been thinking about doing it, you might do it before the end of the year, because in January, I think we're gonna raise the level to $2 a month for traceable access, and we have like 300 something traceables on there, so it's a pretty good deal still for $2. So anyhow, all right, I'm gonna grab my thing here. It looks good. It's nice. It's still a little bit tacky, and one thing I will say about acrylics too, it is not going to be fully cured. Even though it's dry to the touch, they won't be fully cured for another 24 hours or so. So just don't scratch it too much or press down too hard when you're painting your other layers on here, because it will lift off your paint. All right, so I'm going to put my box right in here. I'm just kind of doing my hands like this to kind of see how big I want my area to be. So this is kind of going to be the boundaries of my arrangement in this general area here, and then it's almost like a mushroom shape, and then kind of below it we're going to have this little box right in here, and everything's going to be spilling out over the top, so we're going to bring our boxes in closer than our outside of our thing there, and we're seeing it straight on just slightly from above, so we're not seeing the sides of the box at all. It's just straight on like that. But if you were looking at it at an angle, you'd see a little bit of the side of the box from here. But we're not in this photo. It's not showing that. I don't know why I'm saying that. It doesn't matter. All right. Sometimes I talk about stupid stuff. All right. So right smack dab in the middle is our poinsettia center. So you can kind of just mark out that. It's going to just be kind of these little clusters of berry things in the center of our poinsettia leaf, and then we've got a big old pine cone over here, and then this big poinsettia is it leaves or petals? I guess petals right here, and then another one coming up out this way. We're gonna big Christmas ornament. I said it right. You'd be happy?
Maybe.
I have been known to call them balls in the past. Way too often. Don't know why.
We won't go into it.
Okay. Keeping it family friendly here.
Basketballs are friendly.
True. Didn't say they were.
Okay.
All right, so there's our ornament there. I'm just trying to make sure that I moved it down a little bit because I didn't want to get too close to the top edge of my canvas there. And yeah, I think that that's a good size. So there's another little baby one here. This is a fake poinsettia, so if you want to look at a real poinsettia to see, what they look like, you could totally do that. It'll only help visualize your. And really, these the cones are just kind of an oval, almost just slightly rounded. But these ones pointing away from us, we're not really seeing that pointed tip. So like this one here, we're seeing kind of more of the classic, almost egg shape. And then this one is also kind of pointing out at us. But then these two are kind of more looking like ovals. We're not seeing the bottom end of them much. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that I have kind of my general drawing set before we start painting any of this. So what were you saying?
Somebody wants to know if they want to have their background a little more gray, like the reference photo. What colors would they do or use more of?
I would use more of the brown and blue. So, and we could wash that on here. In fact, it's not too late to change the tone of your canvas. So if you get it done and it's dry and you're like, yeah, I just really don't love that color, you don't have to repaint the whole thing. What you can do is just tone your canvas with a glaze. So I'll show you that here in a minute. Greenery, berries, more greenery, and then another pine cone. Pine cones are really fun to paint. I hope I'll be able to show you kind of an easy way of doing them. They're really fun. Really fun. We just did some in our bonus video this couple months ago. Or no, not a couple months ago. Yeah, last month. Not a couple months.
At some point.
You can see I have trouble with it. They all blend together after a while. So this pine cone is like right on that corner. So if you've lined up the edge of your thing, you'll kind of double check your lines. It should be kind of pointing right at that corner. All right, so there's our kind of general shape for our flowers and everything. And I can go back in and kind of, once I get it where I know I want it, I'm going to go back in and darken up my lines just a little bit on my mainer areas. Man, I'm having trouble today. I swear I haven't been drinking. Unless you put something in those breakfast burritos this morning. All I've been having is sweet tea from McAllister's.
Maybe it had fermented.
Maybe.
Fermented sweet tea?
I don't know. Could be. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is do our baskets. But let's go ahead and tone we can tone the canvas back here. So you're going to use a lot more blue than brown, or kind of equal parts. But in this case, since I want to tone this and it's so brown, I'm going to add a little bit more blue. That'll counteract that brownness in what's already there. And use lots of glazing liquid here. And I'm not going to do the whole thing, but you can kind of get an idea of what it would look like. It'll actually be pretty to do it around the corners. I like to darken up the corners. It kind of brings the focus inward. I don't want to cover up my drawing too much, so I'm just trying to be careful. But you can kind of see what... Oh, what did I just do? I just covered that whole pine cone up. So do this before you do your drawing, obviously. You don't want to mess up any of your drawing. You might do, I would suggest too, doing your drawing on paper instead of onto your canvas like I did. It does two things. One thing, it preserves your drawing, so then you can use it again later if you want to, since you have it, you know, saved on paper. And then the other thing it does is, you know, protects your canvas. Like I said, you know, this paint behind it is still pretty fresh. And so if you made a mistake with your drawing and you tried to erase it, you could end up erasing some of your paint. So that could be an issue. I'm going to use the paper towel and push back, lift off some of the color, just some places here. And that's actually kind of interesting because it's leaving that textured canvas there. It kind of looks neat. So okay, there we go. And then we wanted this anyways, so we're going to do this anyways, but we're going to want it right at the bottom of our box here to darken that up right there. Okay, so let me grab the black and a little bit of white. I got some brown in there too. I still had kind of the colors from where we toned our canvas. I'm going to use that below here and put in our box. Kind of equal parts brown and black. I'm going right over the top of my drawing there. It's fine. Yeah, so so if you do it on paper, then you've got it for later, and you also can reapply it. So like if like we did here, and we kind of lost some of the drawing when I did the toned canvas, you'd be able to just transfer it back on there, no problem. So just okay. And then there is kind of a red band. Leave a little bit of a space there. Most of this is being covered up there, so really not seeing a whole lot of the actual edges there, but I wanted to go ahead and put it on there. And then let's grab some green. Just mix that color in, and I'm going to add this dark green in and around my poinsettia. It's weird that it's spelled poinsettia, but it's pronounced poinsettia in the US. I'm wondering if, or am I just pronouncing it wrong? I've always called it a poinsettia, but
Let
it's
me-
spelled poinsettia. So I'm just wondering if it's supposed to be called poinsettia.
Poinsettia. Okay, so let's get the definition here. Pronunciation, I mean.
So I'm just kind
And-
of trying to come in and around this. What's it say?
Well, I'm still trying to get in there.
Let's go ahead and put some right in the middle of our flower too.
We'll go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Okay.
Not.
Let's not.
Well, no, go ahead.
Oh.
Since it's just the suspense is killing me. Taking so
How come
long
it's
to
not?
figure it out. Not giving you a pronunciation.
I'm pressing the little button, but it's not doing the voice. Oh, maybe I gotta turn on my...
Poinsettia.
Oh, it is. See, I've always said it wrong.
in the non-standard.
Poinsettia.
See, okay.
So it's both.
Must be a West Coast thing. What did you grow up calling it?
Probably both.
Okay, making bright red here. I kind of used equal parts Quinacridone Magenta and Cadmium Red Medium. And then I'm going to add some black to darken it. Really didn't make that little area there wide enough. I left just like a little tiny bit. Let's go ahead and use white. Little band right here. Red. You can see why I kind of left that. Didn't want to go over the green. Look at how it's not covering it all. Over that black. Gonna go with white here. And then we'll just have to let this dry. And then we'll come back with the red later. Okay. You know what I realized is that this was the edge of this is that corner. I can see this red coming up. So this is the inside corner of that. So I'm just gonna paint that out. This is the inside of the box. Get that green. So the red's going around the tip, the rim of it. There. Okay. That makes more sense.
I love the definition here. It is any of several spurges with flower clusters subtended by showy involucral bracts.
Wow.
That's easy.
That clears it right up.
That's easy for somebody else to say. a showy Mexican and Central American plant with tapering, usually scarlet bracts, and suggest petals and surround small yellow flowers.
So these are bracts, not petals, huh?
Yes, it's bracts.
Interesting. Okay, I made a green, a dark green. I used the green and the quinacridone burnt orange right here, and then I added some yellow oxide right here. And we're going to use this to create our greenery around the outside of our thing here. And then I also want, I'm going to use the phthalo blue and some burnt sienna to create a teal. I also want some teal in these. And I'm going to go back through here, obviously, and we're going to, put some over the top of our ornaments and things. So right now we're just mainly concerned with the outer edges that are going to be the farthest, the lowest layers of our pine box here.
So there's controversy whether it's sitting on a floor or hanging on a wall. What is your...
It's on the floor. It's on it because I saw other pictures of it and it was from the side. So it's
So it's like sitting on a table or a floor. Or something?
Yeah, it's just from above. The picture's taken from above, so you're seeing the ground.
Okay, so if you said hanging on a wall, that's minus 4 points. Those of you keeping score. Make sure you have somebody check your scorecard at the end.
Oh my gosh. I need to not make you do chores around the house before the show. You're getting back at me. I can tell.
I didn't get to play video games this morning, so I'm a little grumpy.
So to do these things here, these needles, I didn't really explain it, but I'm using the angle brush and I've, load it, press it flat so that it's got a good straight edge here. And I'm just setting my brush down and kind of pulling it towards the middle. If you want to, you can kind of draw a center line to kind of help you know where the needles are attaching kind of thing. And then, go on either side towards that. They kind of angle back. The tip kind of comes straight out and then it kind of starts slowly tapering in. And then right in the middle, you're going to have some that are right on top. So you can get some lighter color. And the ones that are kind of in the middle are just going to be kind of smaller, just sections of lines that we're seeing. So I need to get this red stripe in here so I can do this one down here. But so this is that pine cone that's going to be right here. So I'm just putting this right up next to that pine cone. And then when we put the pine cone in, this will be all behind it, underneath it. The pine cone's going to overlap it. And there's some greenery coming down here. And let's get some of this more yellowish greenery. There's a bunch of it down here. Kind of more like, not cedar, but kind of like that. What spruce-ish something. I don't know what kind of plant this is, but shorter little needles. And then get some more of this all through here. This is all pine branches. I'm going right up to those leaves there, those petals. Bracken, what did you call them?
Brax.
Brax.
Bracts.
Brax.
They're leaves that look like petals. Just the small little yellow things in the middle are the actual flowers.
Really? Ah.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. Let's do some of the other green color here. Just give it interest having two different kind of greens going on. Do some up here. Probably could have switched to a smaller brushes for that part, but it's working all right. Okay, so just kind of filling in now this middle section here, which is some random little dabs. We'll be adding more detail later, but let's go ahead and work on that red. This is dry now. Get that red on there. You can see how just having that white underneath is going to help that red really pop. And it's really not pure white. It's just a little, white toned, but make a big difference. I did want to mention, if you are one of our regular watchers, I've already mentioned this before, but if you missed, in case you missed it, we are this week only, instead of doing our Tuesday night show on Tuesday, we're doing it on Monday. So Monday night we'll have our live stream that would normally be on Tuesday, and then Tuesday night we won't have any.
I hope I remember.
Just this week. I know, I'm going to have to remind you to come home early.
I'll set an alarm right now, actually.
Too.
This is real life.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got our red band around the top of our box. Come on. Come on, smooth. It's dark. I darkened it up because it's all going to be kind of in shadow, so I don't want it super bright. Right there. I'm spraying to keep my paints moist while I'm working. All right, let's go ahead and put in the background for our pine cones, and I think I want to use black, a little bit of brown. I think I'm going to use phthalo blue. A little bit more of a greenish blue. And I'm just going to kind of dab in my pine cone shape here over the top of my greenery. So they're going to angle out kind of little wings. So I'm just going to kind of fill it in that way. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to cover most of this with other colors, but this is just kind of our base for it. And it's actually a little bit bigger. This one is the biggest one, so I'm going to bring it out a little bit farther back here. There we go. And then this one is right in here. These are actually kind of overlapping. This one's coming down right here. There's a little one right in here. And then this one down here is not, we're not seeing as much of that darkness. So I'm going to go ahead and use more blue for this one. We're not seeing, it's not as dark as down here. Even grab a little bit of the lighter color there. Neighbor decided to do the same thing you did. Mark ran the lawnmower this morning to keep it. Yep, he sure did. He just turned it off to keep it from dying over the winter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna run that lawnmower. I've been off camera that whole time, wasn't I?
No, not the whole time, just the top part. The rest of it was on camera.
Okay. Maybe he is gonna mow his lawn. Why not? All right.
Because it's what, December 14th?
Right, exactly.
Hope everybody survived Friday the 13th yesterday.
Was it? Getting some more blue here. Okay, and then another one right in here. So all these pine cones are all kind of fitting in right here. Again, just kind of swiping so this outer edge is sort of uneven. There we go. This one's actually not as big as I did it, but it will. It is now. Let me see. Did I miss any? Nope. I think that's all of them. Okay. Alright, and so I'm going to use some of this dark color on my box here. Just to shadow the bottom part of it there a little bit. And then I'm going to use some of the glazing medium. Do another layer of really dark right here. Just swipe it side to side here. You know what I'm making tomorrow?
Yes, I do.
Christmas cookie dough. Excited. First time making it with our new kitchen.
I got
So,
a feeling
fun.
I'll be
Sampling.
helping.
Helping. Oh, well, I'm not going to do the big, huge production like I've done in the past. Everybody's bringing their own cookies, so.
Well, as long as you make some really thin ones for me.
I will.
That matters.
Yep, I will. All right, so I'm just going through here and kind of taking off the drawings that I don't need anymore. Just damp brush here. Wiping over that chalk line. So I need a base for our ornament right here. So the ornament is yellow gold, but it's right there, you know, nestled in with that greenery. So there's a lot of the green like on this bottom area. So I'm going to start with that for it. An even darker brown. All of these ones that are in here. You know what? I need to, well, no, I can do this one. So there's one there, there's one here. I'll go ahead and grab that yellow oxide. They're looking a little bit green right now, but that's all right. We'll make them more yellowed. Get a little bit of that brighter yellow here. And then there's another one right here. And then one right here that's overlapping the pine cone right here. And then this big one right here. Okay. And there's going to be a bunch of greenery right here that's going to fill in that corner there. So right now it looks kind of empty, but it'll be filled in later. What?
So when you talked about the cookies and I said the thin ones and then said, well, it's the same recipe, just got to mash them out really thin. And then I said that you have a video right on your channel
I do. Oh
when you're
man,
making the
it's old.
cookies.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible.
And
terrible quality.
Anyway, so somebody said, wait, does Angela has a cooking channel? And I found that quite humorous myself. Yes, the first recipe is blackened quesadillas. And to cool them, you just throw them on the back porch.
The recipe for those is start your tortillas, throw your cheese in, and then leave and walk out of the room.
Right.
And then come back when they're smoking.
Right.
That's how that one works.
And you cool them by throwing them on the back porch.
Right. Yeah. The whole pan, everything. Well, no. I guess no. You just dump them off the pan onto the back porch to dry, to cool. Yeah. No. I used to care more about cooking and be more a little bit for a while there, but I just decided it wasn't my forte. I'm just not all that good at it.
Well, that's okay.
Mark's the cook in our family.
Well, that and take out.
Right.
No, you make some good stuff.
I can cook. I just don't like to cook.
Yeah, I know you make some good chicken dumplings.
Yeah.
You make some good chicken enchiladas.
Yes.
You make a great spaghetti sauce.
Yeah. Chili. I'm
Chili,
putting in
yes.
some red berries here now. Yeah.
Somebody said they missed the mixture for the green. Could you repeat it?
Yes, the green was just yellow oxide with phthalo green. I added some burnt orange to it. And then I made another one with phthalo blue and burnt sienna for the teal ones. So this one is the burnt orange green mix, and then these ones are the teal. Yeah, and we still haven't gotten into, back into actually cooking in our new kitchen. It's just funny. We've been eating out still. I don't know why.
We even got one of those sweet Instapot things.
I know. Well, I've used it a couple of times. I did make chicken.
Made chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup last week. I make a good meatloaf, too.
We were making meatloaf tonight. Jinx.
You have to say my name so I can talk again.
Angela. Oh, I'm sorry. Hottie.
What?
I didn't say your name. Hottie.
Oh, God. You're so ridiculous.
I'm like Tweety Bird. Thought I saw.
Okay. Save it. Getting the purple here. Mixing some of the red with the purple. There's some of these berries that are kind of burgundy colored. All right. Let me see here. Where am I? Okay, so there's just a lot of more berries right here coming down. This one's bigger. This one bigger. Sorry, I'm whispering. Talking to myself. I do that a lot.
I know.
That's why I mumble during the shows. All right. Oh, shoot. I just made that one a lot bigger than I wanted it, but that's all right. And then one more that's just right. There. I feel like it needs one over here, but there's not one. It's just this leaf comes out right in this area. Is your tummy all right?
I was going to say, is that my stomach?
Yeah.
They're saying thank you for the homemade chocolate and Linzer cookies I had just before the show. It is happy.
Singing the song of its people.
Yes. It is the most wonderful time of the year.
I don't think that's what it is saying. Like, oh my God, what are you doing to me? It's more like it, likely. Okay, getting some purple here. I'm gonna do some dark purple right in the center here, starting my leaves. Using the same reds as I did for the berries, pretty much. Might use a little bit more of the pink for these. I really need to do my pine cones, but I want to get at least one coat on these poinsettias because they're going to need a couple coats. So just kind of get the first layer on there, and then we can come back to them. So you'll notice that we're getting uglier as we go. That's normal with acrylics. So just kind of know that. It's kind of the fun about doing these shows because it's almost like magic. You're laying on all these layers and it just gets weirder and weirder looking. And then all of a sudden you put on your last few layers and you're like, oh, there it is. So it's kind of fun. Fun for me. Hopefully for you too. I was watching somebody else paint the other day, and I was just realizing how fun that is. I totally get why people watch painting shows because, I mean, I grew up watching Bob Ross. I loved watching him. He was like the king of my hero. Just the master of. His videos were 20 minutes long, start to finish, like 20 minutes. I just like I cannot even fathom. I mean, the closest that I can get to him is maybe 45 minutes, I think, was the shortest live stream that I've done, you know. And that was like super, super simplified, you know. And yet he had these like masterpiece canvases of, you know, realistic landscapes in 20 minutes. Like, okay. I think he had some sort of voodoo going on there. What kind of witchery is that? All right, getting a light yellow here. I'm going to kind of go up on some of these with this light yellow onto the center of our whatever leaf thing. I can't remember the name of it. You told me about 3 times already, but Bract. Okay.
It's a leaf. It's just a leaf.
Leaf, okay. On the leaf. And then the red.
So bract is a modified leaf or scale, typically small, with a flower or flower cluster in its axil.
That reminds me of my aunt's cat named Axel.
Mm-hmm.
He came home on the axle of their car one day. He was feral, wouldn't let them even pet them for like a couple months after they finally coaxed him out from underneath the car. And he's the cutest little cat. He's got big, bright blue eyes. So she gave me a bunch of pictures of him under the Christmas tree for next year. So we're going to be painting him probably next year. for Christmas. It'd be fun. I got it too late. I just got them in this year, so it's too late to do it this year, but it'd be really fun to paint him next year. But we are going to be painting a Christmas or kind of a winter kitty next month in my Patreon group, my $10 group voted on it, and they wanted to paint the kitty with a scarf, so that'll be coming up next month.
Winter kitty.
Yeah, super cute. All right, so now we have everything covered. First layer done of, all of the background stuff.
You like that picture? Like that picture?
There's Cashmere helping, that's relative term. Unbox the Christmas ornaments this year. I was, we have them all wrapped up in tissue. So as I was, unwrapping them, I was laying the tissue down in a pile, and she just crawled right up on top of it. So I'm like, okay. And so I started just, adding more tissue over the top of her, thinking that she was going to get up. Oh no, she stayed. She loved it. She was like, this is awesome. This is so great. She was having a grand time. She thought she was pretty, you could see in her eyes too. She thought she was very stealthy. She's Ninja Kitty. And I've caught her several times this week looking out the back window for Oliver. Our kitty Oliver died. So it's been sad. She's missing her buddy. So I was glad to see her playing. All right, so now I've got the bright red. Yeah, I don't think we told people on regular. We said it on the bonus video, but I don't think we said it on public. Any public videos that Oliver passed. He passed the day after we talked about it on the show that night. We said something about our cat being sick, and he passed that night. Very unexpectedly. Didn't even get the chance to take him to the vet. I have no idea what happened. He was just acting sick one day and dead the next.
Yep.
It was very sudden. He was old, and he had health issues, but still, we still thought we had a couple years at least left.
He had a good life.
I think he must have had something we didn't know. I think he must have had cancer or something that we didn't know about. That's what I think. But all right, sorry. No talk about dead
On
animals.
that bright note.
I know. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, the picture of Casimir just made me think of that.
All right, I need to keep you focused now.
I know. All right, so I'm going to edit that. Mark's laughing at me now. I don't need to give you any ammunition for laughing at me. You already have plenty.
I'm just having fun with you. A great Saturday afternoon.
It is. Very fun. All right, I'm going to clean my palette. It's getting a little dirty here. Just using this is a glass palette. It's in my Amazon store, so if you are interested, you can check that out. Also wanted to say, if you're a fan of the channel and you're like, I can't afford to do Patreon, but I want to help support the channel, you can do that passively just by buying stuff on Amazon. It doesn't even have to be the stuff that's in my Amazon store. If you just visit the link to Amazon from the link below, down in the description, go to Amazon and make your purchases like normal, after you visit our store there. It like records that you came to Amazon through our link, so it credits us with your purchase. So it's kind of an easy way of, if you feel like it,
Mm-hmm.
But, we'd appreciate it if you're looking for art supplies and stuff, or like weird Christmas ideas or Christmas books, music. I've got a books, music shop in my link down there, and then I've got an acrylic painting supplies, so it's got all the stuff that I use in my videos just about. And then I've got including the canvases, and then I've got one for Christmas. That's Christmas, just fun Christmas stuff, weird like beard ornament things and clippy things and things that we've bought, or just I thought that was fun. And then one that's just random stuff, and some of the stuff in there is also stuff that we have bought, so like our fan that we use in the studio and my headphones that I use, and just all kinds of random stuff. So if you're looking for gift ideas and stuff, you might check that out too. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Make out your affiliates with Blick.
Yes, and Blick, I don't have it down in the description, but Blick.com is now our an affiliate. So there we go. This is the brush I was looking for. So if you're interested in that if you go to my website, thankfulart.com, there's a FAQ page and frequently asked questions, and it's got a thing there that asks about where to buy art materials, and in there the links to the Blick are down there at the bottom.
Okay, so which brush did you just grab?
This one is the number 2 round in the 6100 series.
And do you need a new water?
I do need new water.
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm using the Cobalt Teal and Phthalo Blue. I'm not sure this is quite the right color. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my hand is famous.
Adding some burnt umber to it. That's about the right tone right there. Kind of a cool blue gray. And going to add some white. So I've got like a darker version and then a lighter version and kind of a more brighter blue version. I'll see if this is the right color on my pine cones. We'll see. I'm not sure. I'll be able to tell pretty quick. Might be a little bit too bright. Get a little bit more of that burnt umber. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So the tip of it is mostly, I got a little bit too much paint there. Getting some more of that dark there. There we go. All right, so I'm going to get some of the burnt umber just kind of on one side, and then the lighter color on the other side, kind of like what we did back down here. We're going to kind of double load it, and I'm going to turn it so that the dark side is pointing towards the back here, so the light side is going to be painting the tips of the little whatever these are on the pine cone. Needles? No, not needles. What are they? I have the hardest time with words when I'm painting.
Pine cone what?
What are these little things? These little things that stick out on the pine cone.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to...
That's all right. It's not a big deal. Okay, so we're going to be overlapping, kind of like we're laying bricks. see every other. Yeah, this is a good blue too. I like this. So this double loading is really helping because it's kind of creating a little bit softer look to these.
It is a cone scale.
Scale, okay.
I got another Christmas idea.
What?
Actual paintings by Angela Anderson.
Oh, that's true. Or like you're saying, for people to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a few paintings on Etsy now. So we've started selling some. That's new. This is the first time I've sold any, unless it's been like by special request. I have sold a couple of them by special request, but yeah, so we'll see how it goes. If we sell them, then we'll try to keep them available all year long. But right now it's just going to be for the holidays. Okay, so I'm going to get the brown and just kind of fill it up. And then pull that lighter color through. Ooh, I'm almost out of water on this thing. And then smush my brush down so that I get a blend there between the dark and light colors. And adding a few little random ones, but you can see how easy this is to do. Just setting the brush down and kind of doing a little comma stroke almost. And they're kind of diamond shaped, the petals, the things are, so you can kind of shape them out if you want to a little bit more. Kind of go back in and kind of shape out the tips of them on some of them like that. Kind of smush it and then pull to the side. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does to me.
Okay. There we go. See how they're really not that hard. I swear it's not. They're really fun to do too. So I hope you try it. Right. So again, kind of the first few are just kind of going straight, and then as you get going around the sides, then you kind of start picking up that pattern a little bit. Again, in between. So I've got a space there. Going to go in between. Space here, in between. Right here. Like that. It's like magic. Love it. Super fun. Okay, these ones up here are a little bit more blue-ish, so I can get away with doing more of the blue. And just little swishing brush strokes. In between. This one is, get a little bit more of that dark. There we go. And there's going to be a lot of greenery covering most of that. This one looks different because we're seeing it from the other side. These ones are facing towards us. These ones are facing away from us. So we're seeing kind of a different shape to them. They're kind of, the light part is up here. Again, yeah, I think I'm going to go even like with a little bit of ultramarine blue. And want to go outside the edges too, so that I don't have that outline, you know. So going outside the edges, boundaries of that black that we put in the background, so that I get that pine cone knobs on those scales. So all these outside edges should have overlapped sections there. Okay. Get that lighter. Okay. Let me get one I burnt umber. How much time have we been? An hour and a half? That's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Get pretty decent time. Again, so load up with the brown and then grab the white on the other side, white blue color, and then smush them together right here. Okay. So this one's got a few on the outside edges poking out, and then we're seeing just a little bit of that center stem right there, and then small little baby pieces, and then the larger scales right there, just a little tiny bit showing, not a whole lot on that one. I'm done with that one. I'm going to be moving down here, so here we go. No, you're fine. So I'm going to bring this one down a little bit more.
I know I am.
Mm-hmm. What?
I know I am.
You're what?
You said I'm fine.
I think I smushed my basket in a little bit too much. So I kind of crowded this one out. So I think I'm going to move it just a little bit over, just down here. Do him right in here. So there's our little center of him. And then smush. Oh, you are really zoomed in there. Okay, so I think that's all I really have space for on here. Might move. I'm playing with the outside shapes here, just kind of evening them out a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna go back in with this white and kind of frost some of the tips of these. Just kind of dry brushing some little bits of white on some of the tips. Just very lightly kind of flicking a little color. I had too much there when I first started right here, so I wiped my brush off so that I wasn't getting too much paint. This will also kind of soften the whole look a little bit, make it not so perfect smooth, you know. So if you've got any areas where you don't really like it, or you need to kind of adjust some of the colors, this is a good way to kind of just sort of dry brush over it and smooth out any rough bits or areas that you don't like. Doing these on the very tips where they're farthest out. Go. All right. Good. I think I'm happy with that. All right. And I think I'm going to glaze these too. So I think that's dry enough. So one last thing we're going to do. I'm going to get some blue, brown, ultramarine blue, and burnt umber here. Make that kind of gray. This is kind of our base gray color. Used in the background, used on the box. Use it over, and then I'm going to glaze these pine cones where they go down in anywhere where they're kind of overlapped or where I have a little bit along the edge. It'll push them back down in. So make them Your stomach's cracking me up. It was my stomach a few weeks ago doing that. You remember that? Okay, so I'm gonna go back over with the white in just a couple places here. There we go. See how that pushed that back? Made it look, this one especially is gonna really make a big difference because it's right now, especially like over here, it looks kind of flat. So this will round it out. So we could do it along that edge right there and down in here. And now it looks rounded. Okay, let's do it down here, this guy. Where you're gonna be darkest, you know, where like it's really going down in there is where you want to go really dark with it. And then along the sides you could go a little bit lighter. This one will get a little bit too. This one's a little bit more kind of sticking out everywhere, but just along that back side there, can use a little bit of it. This one's kind of all in shadow, just about, so I'm gonna cover a lot of that. And then this one too, it's got a lot of shadow. Okay, that's what really makes your paintings look more realistic, is that glazing. Okay, getting really close. Let's work on these Christmas ornaments here. So I'm gonna grab the brown, burnt umber, and yellow oxide. Actually gonna use, I'm just trying to see what colors I'm seeing in there. Let's go ahead and grab some of this cadmium yellow. Add some of that yellow oxide to it. There we go. So there's kind of our gold base. There, that cadmium yellow and yellow oxide mixture. It's got a little bit of that brown in it too. That'll be our good gold tone. So let me do another, yeah, there we go. Do another layer of this. We still have the green in there, so I don't want to cover up all of it, especially kind of around the bottom areas, but just more yellow than green. Go. We get black and brown. I'm going to mix it with that yellow. A little bit of glazing medium.
If somebody would want to paint this on actual wood, what would they need to do to seal it or prepare it?
You could use clear gesso, or you could just seal it with some medium, some sort, some like acrylic medium, matte medium would work, something like that. You just need to seal that wood off so that it doesn't seep through. I'm going to use the Filbert for this. And then paint right over it, you know. The wood can have chemicals in it and stuff, and it can also, like, the sap can seep through over time and stuff. So you just want to be sure that you've got it sealed is the main thing. Okay. So on the inside, there we go. And then we've got this lighter color, lighter gold. Right along that edge. Kind of shiny. And then right here, shiny. I'm just kind of blending out that dark shadow a little bit. I need to keep these wet. They're not going to dry out on me pretty fast. So this is that brown burnt umber and yellow oxide, and then this is just yellow oxide with a little bit of cadmium yellow, and then this one's got the brown and black mixed with the color. So I think this Filbert brush is not the right brush. It's too floppy. It's not letting me blend, so I'm gonna try. Let's try this. We'll see. I'm gonna have to get the smaller Filbert. Okay, so this is kind of the medium brown. There we go, lighter gold right there. And then just some of it tapped in the middle there. And then right up in here, we've got a shiny spot. So let's get my white. And add some random bits here and there. Round it out. Good. Then really bright white. How you doing, hon?
Good.
I haven't had a lot of questions today.
Well, we got two questions right now if you want them.
Sure. We can do it.
First one is, how do you create a glaze?
You use watered down paint or glazing medium with your paint. So you can do it with watered down paint. It's better to do it with a glazing medium with acrylics, heavy body acrylics like the ones I'm using, because they won't stick as well. So to the canvas, they can lift off if you use too much water with the heavy body acrylics. But if you're using like a craft acrylics, they're mostly binder, not as much pigment, so you can add a lot of water to them. Don't have to worry about it under binding. But with heavy body acrylics, they're more pigment than binder, and so if you add too much water, the binder gets too loose and it won't stick as well. So, but yeah, like glazing medium, you're just basically glazing is just going over the top of your other layers in a transparent sheet. So you're wanting to add a transparent layer to what you've got on your canvas already. And it ideally you should be able to see the underlayers through when you get it done. You're just wanting to add a tone of color over the top of what you got going on. So I'm using the glazing medium here just to kind of push this paint around. Added the darker color, kind of in that middle area. And we'll have this kind of corona of highlights on either side. This ball, and then get a little bit more black. Black, when you're mixing it with yellow, gold, it turns kind of greenish. So again, we're kind of seeing that green tone in this. So this works for us. Right here, and then there's some down here. This is really dark. All down in here. Just kind of doing some random, what it's going to do is pick up the stuff around it. So we're going to see kind of the reflection of the needles and the reflection of the room and the lights in the room and whatever else, is going on in that room. So these reflective ornaments really pick up all kinds of stuff. So you can kind of get away with just putting in a bunch of dabs and dots and things. As long as you kind of have your really bright areas kind of blended out, you're going to be good. I'm going to put a fairly dark area around there. I'm going to add just a little bit more dark to this one right here. And in a couple of areas right here. It's going to feel really weird putting black on a, gold ornament. Your brain is going to be telling you gold should be, gold. It shouldn't have browns or greens or weird colors in it. But you'll be glad you did it. So just kind of trust the process. Go ahead and do it. And you can always paint over it if you really hate it, but it'll make it look more realistic. So I'm going to get some of the brighter greens now. Put those kind of in here. And we are going to be putting greenery over the top of this when we get it done. So if you really hate it, you could just cover most of it with green stuff. So keep that in mind too. Okay. Get some more of that yellow oxide. A little bit of the brown. A little bit of the yellow. Burnt umber, yellow oxide, cadmium yellow here. And then now I'm going to just kind of go over and push back all these dark areas and kind of go over the top of them with a little bit of this light color. Not over all of it, but just some of the lighter areas here that I'm seeing. And then the upper area actually has kind of this pinkish glow to it, so I think it's picking up, I don't know really why, but it's got kind of a pink tone. Maybe it's picking up some of the berries over here We can add a little bit of that up there. Still adding my yellow to it, so it's gonna kind of tone it a little bit peach maybe. And right here, we're seeing red in it from our and in our picture it's actually got this red ball is right up next to it, so I can move it a little closer so that it makes more sense. Just get a little bit of that. There we go. And get some purple. This one has little things sticking out of it. I'm gonna get some of that darker brown, mix a little bit of that black. Okay. There's a little neck on this too that I didn't paint in. There's some of the red on that. Now that these berries, now that the pine cones are done, we can put the berries back in now. So some of them are brighter red. I'm going to use more of the Cadmium Red Medium. This pine cone was going over the top of it, so I'm going to leave it kind of behind. And grab some of that Zinc White and tap it on there to create that frosted berry look. I'm going to get a little bit of the Cadmium Red Medium there, or Cadmium Red Light even, and use a little bit of that in. Make it a little bit more orangey. And we could have had just the ornaments, or just the poinsettia, or just the pine cones. This thing's got a lot of different things in it. A lot of different things to happen in this painting. What time is it? We're about 2 hours. Huh?
Hammer time.
Hammer time. And some of that purple mixed in with the these centers of these berries sticking out. You could leave that part out if you don't like it. I don't know, I'm on the fence. I don't love it, so it looks alright, but I don't know if I want to do it to all of them. Alright, let's do some branches out to these. There's some this burgundy color on some branches. So we'll put some of those in. And then grabbing some of that zinc white, tapping that in and tapping over. Maybe just get the titanium white 'cause it's not going to cover. Tapping. Little snowy bits on our branches. And on our berries. And really I could use I'm going to go ahead and use the Stippler for that. It'll make it easier. Now, I'm doing this what I'm seeing, but if you want to leave these berries red, you could do that. You can adapt this however you wanted to. So I don't feel like you can't, feel like I really liked my berries that way. Then leave them. What? I don't know. They look like cranberries. I think they're fake though. I mean, I don't think any of this is real, but I think they're supposed to be cranberries.
They're a good group.
Huh?
They're a good group.
The cranberries?
Mm-hmm.
They don't exist anymore. Their lead singer passed away.
I know, that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
I think I only really know one song by them, but still good.
That was a good song. You probably know two. You know their zombie song.
I do.
I think so. You'd know it if you heard it. Okay, getting some dark. I didn't do the dark red on this one. I'm going to get a little bit brighter red. So once you put this frost on, you're pretty much done with, your shading and stuff on these. So go ahead and make sure you've got your berries kind of where you want them to be color-wise. And then you can do the white on top. And we might decide to glaze them. We'll see how it looks when we get them all done. Take your time when you're stippling. You can see how long it's taking me to do each one of these. You don't want to have too much paint on there. If you have too much paint, you're just going to end up with big globs. So I tap it out pretty well so that I only have a little bit of paint on my brush. Because stippling, you kind of have to really be careful how much you're adding. You want that background color to show through. You're not trying to cover it, you're just trying to kind of tone it. So, go. Cool frosted berries. And then I'm going to go back in with my white, a little bit brighter white, and just do a little bit of brighter on one side of some of these. Just a little bit more. And there is some on these ornaments too. Okay, get these other ornaments done. This one has a lot of red in it. Get some yellow in that green. I'm just really drawing the kind of reflections on the ornaments there. This just disappeared too much up there. You can see where the edge of it is. There we go. You okay? What are you laughing at?
I crack myself up sometimes.
Okay.
The thought about what the berries were, then there was like cranberries, and somebody said rose hips, and there was a discussion of rose hips and vitamin C and all that stuff, and then I made the statement that the real question is do chickens have hips? And then it's just gone down from there.
Uh-oh.
So you never know what you'll get in chat.
Sorry I asked. I know. Y'all have all the fun.
But
chat.
people tuned in today for a
What?
painting tutorial. They didn't know they would get a lesson in chicken anatomy. So
I would think they have hips, don't they?
I don't know.
They have thighs.
They have
They're delicious. Sorry. Sorry, vegans. And just offended all of our
at least
vegan
that's what we hear.
crew. Okay. So this one, the highlights kind of just above, just inside. The darker is kind of right on the outside edge. Same thing here. Then the highlights are kind of right in the middle. Here and here. I'm going to get a little bit more of this. Did too much there. Really just right there. I don't know why I messed with that one. What I do want a little bit of red in that one. Get a little bit of red. This one's got some red in it. This one's got a lot of red in it. This one's got a lot of red in it. Come on, darker. There we go. We already did the red in this one.
So somebody pointed out in chat too that in the large ornament on top you can see the photographer.
Yeah. Right here, standing, yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Okay. Grabbing the white. Get a little bit of that creamy yellow there. That was the cadmium yellow and phthalo, and yellow oxide with the white right here. And I'm gonna put in my highlight areas on my all right. I don't know if I like that. A little bit too far down there. Getting some yellow oxide here. It's just amazing when you really look at these, how dark these shiny ornaments are, you know. How most of it is not gold like you would think. You know, you just see an old gold ornament, you want to go in there with gold paint and paint it. But if you really start, you know, breaking it down and looking at the, you know, photograph carefully, it's not a whole lot of gold at all. It's just these little areas here that make it really shine. Get some brown. Mix my brown with my yellow there, getting some of this color. Yellow oxide, burnt umber. And use it to kind of outline and shape out any of these dark areas that still need defining. Some black. Mix that with this color. I think it could be, yeah, it's photographer here, you're seeing. Either that or you could call it a Christmas tree, I guess. But I think you're right, it's the photographer. They're starting to look really shiny, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Looks cool. I think we're good on these. I'm gonna quit, and so we got all the pine cones, we got all the ornaments looking fairly good, and I probably could glaze them. One, you know, like one last thing to do could be we could glaze the ornaments with a little bit of gold, maybe a little bit of golden brown. Just on the outer edges. Could help kind of soften. Soften them up. Okay, so let's I'm gonna use the 1/4 inch angle. I got this. Come on over here. Get my brushes. Dip all my brushes that I still have, that I've used but have not cleaned, into my water to keep them moist. I keep my brushes that I haven't used on one side, and the brushes that I have used on the other side. As I use them, I put them on a paper towel so they don't get stay in the water, and then just keep moistening them every now and then so that they stay moist until I can get them to the cleaners. Get they to the bath. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of lightly glaze over these dark areas on these with just a little bit of light gold. That'll just soften that up a little bit. Let me see, what do I need to do? Okay, so let's finish our little greenery. So I'm gonna get the phthalo blue, phthalo green, mix those two together, mostly green. And then I'm going to add a little bit of burnt sienna. Probably could have left out the quinacridone burnt orange. I haven't really used it a whole lot. I might use it more in the poinsettia, we'll see. But it's a pretty color. And this one right here. So coming out of this, over the top of both this and my ornament, I've got this pine needles. So just make sure you've got all done that you need done on those before you do this step. And you need to make sure that this is a good opaque color. So add some burnt umber or black or whatever you need to add to make sure that it's not see-through, because you don't want to worry about it not covering. You don't want to be able to see through the, the pine cone or whatever through the needles. I'm going to do all the dark areas first, and then we'll come back in with the lighter color and highlight them. Notice that green does not go over the top of that pine cone, so make sure that the green's just kind of behind and around it and not over the top of it, but it does go over the top of the berries. Okay. Oh, much better. Big area right here that covers both of these. Stomach is cracking me up today. It's so funny. Every time it gets quiet, Mark's stomach's
I can hear it, but I just don't really feel it. It's funny.
I know. Okay. Get some green here with the more of a yellow green for these ones. And this is the undercoat, so it's going to be a little bit darker. You're not going to be able to see it as well. Then when we get the upper layers on, we'll be able to see it a lot better.
So what was that dark green combo concoction you just came up with?
This one has got some yellows in it. This one was was the Phthalo blue, Phthalo green with burnt sienna. And then this one has got the same colors plus, well, no, it was green, then the two yellows and brown, I think. I'm not sure. You need to zoom out a little bit, honey. I'm too close to going off the camera. All right. Okay, let's turn it out. I love this. This is fun. I was really looking forward to painting this one. Mark can tell you. It's like, what am I painting today? It's like, you're painting the Poinsettia. Oh, yeah. Yay. All right, going in with a little bit darker. I'm just going to touch up some of these yellowish areas with some darker color here to make sure it's showing up. Make sure all the little leaf debbies have stems. Okay, and then this little area right here, it's got a big one. So this is just connecting up with we did the first part of this one right here. So we're just connecting it up. Back here it's going over the top of the Christmas ornament now. Sorry, my voice. All right, so I've added some white. I'm going to add a little bit of black. Get some of these down in here, darker. This may be my favorite one that we've done this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I like it. All right, adding lots of white here. I'm going to set my brush down and kind of flick it. Create some light tips on some of these. So you don't have to even have one that you're already going over. You can just kind of create your own like new one there, but this will really make those pop. And I'm starting at the tip and then overlapping them towards the base. That way I've got them kind of stacked. So starting at the tip. And kind of just going in between. Taking some color liberties with these, you know, so the original photographs maybe not as teal as I'm making these, but I just really like the look of teal with red, so I'm kind of making it a little bit more on the blue green side on some of these. But if you prefer it more kind of neutral, you could always, well, this is kind of more like a blue spruce, so it's definitely a natural colored, you know. You can see this color in nature for sure. But if you want more of a neutral pine, you could just add a little bit of brown to this color, and or a little bit of yellow to make it a little bit more, less of the teal and more of green. We have some of this in our yard, actually, the blue spruce kind of colored things we put in last year. I love it. It's so pretty. Okay. Oops, I forgot this one. So I'm trying to get all my pine needles, just have some highlights on them. Gotta do that really dark first. If you don't do the dark, then you won't have the base for these really light colors on top. And then I'll go ahead and use the same brush with the yellow and green and a little bit of white. And I'm going to use this in my poinsettia center. Just a little bit for now. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just doing a little bit. I'm going to use it. I'm not doing that. I just told you. Sorry. I know you're doing down here. I gotta finish these little.
I think I'm not gonna do that.
I know. I just told you. Like I'm not doing that right now. I'm not ready for it yet.
Did I not just say we're not doing that?
Just
back up.
Back up. Okay, so go ahead and zoom in real close here. I'll do it. Okay, stop. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm using the very tip, and I'm just drawing and kind of scribbling with it. I've got the tip loaded with that like bright green, and I'm scribbling little branches on these little there. See that? So let's move it over here. We'll do it over here. Starting at the tip again. Always kind of start at the tip and work back towards the base of the plant. And usually these highlights are not going to be happening back in here. So like in this one, I didn't even really put them back in there at all. Although I might do just a little bit and then get some of that darker green and over the top of my ornament there. Just a little bit. Okay, so literally just kind of scribbling with the tip of my brush, just letting it drag and create these little random shapes. Don't get too specific with it. It'll look much more natural. You just kind of keep it loose. So look at your original reference photo, kind of see they're kind of doing these Y branches, like, forked little branches. So I'm kind of trying to do that, going back and forth, creating this Y shapes. See that? Kind of get a rhythm for it and then just go to town. Don't like I said, don't kind of get too fancy with it. I mean, of course, if you want to take the time to carefully, paint them in exactly how you're seeing them, by all means, do that. I'm just saying, if you're one to do it the quick way like I am, this is how you do it. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. All right, one more. This is over the top of our pine cone. And now it's going to finally show up because it really wasn't showing before. Okay. Fun. Okay, let's see some. Just gonna make sure that there's no areas where I feel like I need any overlapping or anything like that. So just kind of looking and seeing, but I think we got all of it pretty well. And then, and again, we can glaze these if we want to when we get this done, which we probably want to, and then it'll kind of push back some of the the things I'm gonna put in my chronocrystal branch here. Snowy branch. I feel like I probably could use another couple of them. Totally leave these out if you don't like them. So it's up to you. Add some dark brown so that they okay. All right, let's finish our poinsettia and we'll be done. Man, my throat is closing up on me. All right.
Some water.
Yeah, I might. No, I just need.
Some more of that fermented tea.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm making this purpley red here. Purple Quinacridone Magenta. I'm going to use it in my dark area here along my stem seams. And then in the shadow between the branches. Or not branches, in the shadow between the leaves, I guess it is.
Mm-hmm.
So. Defining them a little bit. Okay. Everybody hanging in there?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a huge crowd again, or is it just normal size this time?
Oh, right now you're at 443.
Okay, so more normal than.
Mm-hmm. Not 1,000.
I know. Last week we had like 800 and something watching, or like 900.
976.
Crazy. So these are our people watching then. Not a bunch of random people.
But we like randoms too.
We do. That's how we find new people.
Mm-hmm. We like all.
We do. We'll welcome everybody. But I feel more comfortable painting with you guys.
You get bonus points for liking dark chocolate.
Yes.
So put that on your scorecard.
Are we keeping track of? What do they win?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Just didn't know. Nothing like that. Yeah, this brush is just a little bit soft. I don't like it. A little bit firmer bristles. kind of blend in. I add a little bit of white. Making this a little bit bigger. Let's see that I didn't make this one as big as it needed to be. So using kind of the brighter reds there to pull out some highlights.
Somebody would like to know, how do you get your ornaments so perfectly round?
Well, if you if you have trouble drawing circles, then you can always use a template or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I just pretty much painted a circle. The one thing that you do need to watch when you're doing these and to make them look rounded is to make sure that if you do have these curves here, that they match. So if I had a circle and I have a circle here and I go to put my highlights in or something, and my highlight in, and if I put it in straight, it's not going to look rounded. So you got to match that curve in your highlights as well, and then it'll give it that, it can still be a dot and stuff, but even the dots, if you notice, they've got that curve that are matching that outline of the circle. So that may be, I don't know. And they kind of follow the same distance away from the edge, if that makes sense. So even if I did a curve, but if I did a curve that was like real close over here and then came like that, see how that also changes the whole, it doesn't match the curve. So any of your highlights, shadows, everything, even in the middle, the middle ones are going to be kind of straight up and down. But then as you get towards the outside, they should all kind of match evenly sort of to the outside edges. So none of them should be going across all the way, unless they're rounded out at the top and bottom, like that big ornament we've got, kind of a big area that's kind of straight across, but we can get away with it because it's curved here and here, and all of the outside edges have their this looks totally opposite. I'm putting the highlights where the shadows should be, but you get the idea. You're making sure that you're staying the same distance away from the edge in all of your new things, so like just kind of doing that kind of throws the whole thing off. The ones on this side are going to be curved this way. The ones on this side are going to be curved this way. And then the ones in the middle can be kind of dapped on. but they'll all kind of be almost equal. I mean, it's not a hard science, but that does help with the roundedness. I mean, you're going to have reflections and things in there that are not going to follow that rule necessarily, but because like these highlights in here aren't necessarily, they're just kind of in a weird spot. But like this one, you can see how it's evenly. I've got the shadow color underneath pretty evenly spaced, and then this highlight on top is about evenly spaced. It's following that curve, and that makes it look round. That makes sense, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to grab this light. Nope, don't have any of that left. I need to get this painting done. Got stuff to do.
Like
But it's
what?
only Saturday.
Like what? We got a lot of stuff done this morning.
And we did. It's true. Got reading to do then.
Got games to play.
Exactly. Gotta get your games in.
We got meat to loaf.
We do. That takes an hour to cook, so we gotta get it done early.
Oh, it's plenty of time early.
Yeah, I know.
Take your time.
Okay.
Do your thing.
All right. Just making sure you're hanging in.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere.
Good. So trying to get some green in here. And then we need to blend it out with white. And then our pink. I'm just working that wet edge out. And then putting in my lines down the middle. Our shadows from the sides here. You can leave this part out on this one if if this like really stresses you out and you don't like the look of the green. You could always just do red all the way to the center. Most of all of the pictures that we saw of the real ones were like that, so this is completely up to you. I'm getting some of the Quinacridone Magenta, Cadmium Red Medium. That's their kind of base color, and then picking up a little bit of the white with it. And then I'm going to start kind of coming in along the edges here and just pulling in some highlights. I'm just setting the brush down and sort of flicking it towards the center. Leaving a little bit of a dark space in the middle for our vein. Gotta get your tummy some snacks there, honey. There's something going on. I'm trying to make that look sort of frosted. Getting a little bit of white on there.
Hey, do you know if Cad Red Light is just Cad Red with white in it, or is
It's
it
not.
actually lighter?
It's oranger. It's brighter orange. Same thing with cadmium orange. It's not None of the cadmiums are the same, can be really mixed. Although, I take that back. Cadmium medium, if you're going to buy a cadmium, I would get the light. Because cadmium light with magenta, with Quinacridone Magenta makes real convincing cadmium medium. The two of those together can make a color that's very, very similar to cadmium medium. But cadmium orange, you could, like if you had cadmium orange, you probably could do cadmium orange actually with the quinacridone and maybe get those two close. But you need another color that is, I wonder if you had cadmium orange, if you could get cadmium light. You might be able to do cadmium red and cadmium orange and get a cadmium light, red light. So I don't know. I haven't tried that. I should try it sometime. But I do know that I usually do quinacridone and cadmium red light too. Unless I'm needing a lot of reds, I usually just mix the medium tone red with those two colors because I like cadmium red light. You can do a lot more with it, I feel like. Because you can get a lot of really pretty oranges when you mix it with yellow and stuff. Okay. So let's put a little bit on here, make it kind of glow in some places. So like right in here. Give it a little bit of an orangey glow. And then after 2 hours, 3 hours almost, those paints are getting dry. Probably could put out fresh paint. Probably would not be a bad idea. Okay, so that's the Quinacridone Magenta there. Just kind of going back over and darkening up the center of that one. I'm going to get a little bit of the purpley red and get that. Okay. This is again that purpley kind of purpley red. I'm going to use the glazing medium just to kind of make the color go on a little smoother. Overlapped it right here a little bit. Let me get that purple and go really dark right here. Make it curve down in a little bit. Get some of the lighter color. Did not do a very good job of drawing these in originally. Seeing a lot of spaces I missed. Okay. Get some of that cadmium orange with the cadmium red light. Some of the lighter reds there. Then let's get some white. Mix that with the cadmium red medium. Cadmium red medium looks really pretty, like watermelon-y red when you add white to it. It's real pretty. Not too pink. And if it is too pink, you can always add more. You can always add some yellow to it or a little bit of the cadmium red light. You can add some yellow to it or a little bit of the cadmium red light. I can hear myself on there.
Where's that coming from?
I don't know.
That's weird.
It's coming from your side of the studio from somewhere. Got it figured out? Is it better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Afraid of talking there for a minute. Okay. Getting some of the cadmium red medium now. It's got a little bit of the quinacridone in here. Just kind of toning all of these. So, I hope I mentioned this earlier. I think I started to. I'm not sure if I said it though. But our Tuesday night show is going to be on Monday. So I think I did say it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But we've had people jump in later,
Right.
so
Yeah. So just a reminder. Got a new night just for this week for the Tuesday night show is going to be on Monday night. And we're going to be doing snowflakes, so it'll be fun.
So on the 16th, Monday the 16th will be our next show.
Right.
And then we'll do a show on Saturday the 21st.
Right.
And then
Going on vacation for 2 weeks.
We'll be off the tube.
Yep.
Until Tuesday the 7th?
Yes, January 7th.
Wow. Man, all right. Is it a paid vacation for me?
As long as all our patrons don't abandon us and YouTube keeps paying us, then yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we'll still be fulfilling all of our Patreon, stuff that month. We're just we got it done early this month so that we could take a break later in the month. So this week I'll be finishing up the challenge image with the $10 Facebook group where we do the videos every Thursday. So this will be our last Thursday, and then we'll have we'll have full. I usually like to have at least 3 weeks in the month to be able to finish the challenge images because they usually are more challenging, obviously. That's the name. And so, yeah, so we'll have plenty of time for our January one, and we'll be finishing the December one this week on Thursday. And then cookies on Friday. Cookie party here at the house with my friends.
Nice.
And then...
Right, I can't wait.
I know, I can't.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm not invited.
No, you're not. Although Spencer may pop in because he's going to be home from school.
Lucky.
No. You can come.
No, I didn't get an invite. It's okay.
You'll be at work.
Yep.
That'll be your last day too, though, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But I do still have one vacation day I have to take.
Ooh. Okay.
When are they going to fix the gutters?
I'm not sure. When you want to be home that day?
Oh,
Keep an eye on things.
I might could.
Yeah. You could... Oh, no, I was going to say you could go see Fantagram with me on Tuesday night, but it's sold out. But, I mean, 'cause we're going to go to Crystal Bridges and stuff.
Well, I might take the day off if you won't be here.
Yeah.
Play video games all day.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Drink hot chocolate.
That's why your stomach is... You need to listen to your tummy. It's trying to tell you something.
It said thank you. Please send more.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm almost done here. I'm just going to try to add some last minute little areas that are kind of raised up. My paint is getting super sticky, so I can't really do a whole lot more unless I put out all fresh paint, which I don't really want to do.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great day. I'm done, right?
Almost.
Sticky paint? Where did the sticky paint?
Yeah.
Man, look at that.
What?
It looks like you know what you're doing.
Thanks. I try. It's, it's funny.
No. You listen to Yoda. You don't try. You do.
You do. There's no try. There's only...
Do or do not.
Somebody sent us a magnet for that.
Yep.
Awesome. Speaking of magnets, I got several that I haven't replied to people, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, we got a gift today in the mail.
We did.
Where is it?
Out there. I put it on with my snowman already.
Oh, okay, I'll go get it real quick.
Okay. It's hanging on the end closest to the kitchen. All right, so putting all my highlights in here. I'm getting some bright red.
Shirley Ray.
Shirley Ray made us a ornament. Love it. So cute. So cute. Looks like she put a sticker. That's very clever. Very clever. Love it. So thank you, Shirley. That went straight up on the snowman wall. I've got a collection of snowmen, so she must have known that. Or if she didn't, she got lucky, but I bet she did. Okay, so now I'm just going over some of these reds that I put in with the pink, the pinky reds. This will kind of tone them, but that pink underneath will make it brighter. Some of them I'm going to leave kind of pink, but some of them I want to kind of make a little bit more orangey. So I think I grabbed a little bit of the Cadmium Red Light too. So this has got a little bit of both. So pretty. And this is also kind of flocked with that snow effect, but I don't know that I want to do it on my poinsettia, so I'm gonna leave it. But if you want to do it, then just tap that snow on there just like you did with the berries. So it's up to you. Get a bit of the lighter red here. I think I'm pretty much done. Oh, yeah, we need to do the centers of these flowers, though. Almost forgot. So, I'm going to get the phthalo green, or yellow oxide and cadmium yellow medium here. I'm just going to mix up a brew with the two of those colors. And I want to use a little bit of burnt sienna to start that first. So I'm going to dab my little flower clusters in the center, like that. Clean that out. It's important that you have that bright or green underneath there first. Get that yellow, or get white, and just get some of that yellow. Okay, zoom out there. Let me see what that looks like.
Oh, it looks like the Loch Ness Monster.
Get some of that lighter color there with the reds and white. I'm just going to add just another pop of highlight on just a few little areas here. Just where I think the color's going to be brightest. I'm going to glaze some magenta. Just going to tone it all. If it's too pink for you, you can always add a little bit of the cadmium red. But just know that the cadmiums are opaque, so it's going to cover it a lot more than this is. And then we can use a little bit of the green with this. And shadow some of the green parts if they need shadowing kind of down. I might even use black. A little bit of green and black. Kind of where they're being overlapped. All right, I think we're about done.
30 minutes.
Exactly, from when I said we were about done the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, I'm gonna stop. Let me sign it. I like how this one turned out. It's really cool. Definitely.
Is that Felicia?
Yes, this is Felicia. My pen. Mark named it. Somebody asked what pen I was using, and he called it. He said Felicia.
No, they said they wanted to know the name of the pen that you use.
Yeah. So just
Felicia.
you should know better. Is all I'm saying to whoever asked that, because that left him wide open for nonsense. So be warned.
Nonsense.
Wide open, Sean. Nice. He's got his jingle bells.
Jingle bells, baby.
Sweet.
Yes, we had a super chat today from Denise. She said, Angela, you amaze me every time.
Oh,
All the detail helps me with my own paintings. You truly do us some good here in the community.
I'm so glad.
Mark, you're an amazing husband to her, so keep it up, Buttercup. Love you guys. God bless.
Oh,
Thank you, Denise.
That's awesome. I
That is
appreciate
hilarious.
you. Yeah, it's great. Keep it up, Buttercup. Love it. He is a good guy. Gives up his weekends to hang out with me. It's nice. I'm gonna splatter. I feel like I need some snow. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. This one's for Dave. You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Dave is still in the house, too, so.
Nice. Merry Christmas. Hope you all have a wonderful holiday. Don't get too stressed out. Enjoy yourselves. It's only stuff.
Yep. It's not about the presents.
Nope.
It's about the presents.
Enjoy your time with your family, friends. Hope you get to do some fun stuff. Eat some things that are not all that great for you, but we're bad influences.
Yes.
We're starting our diet after the new year, so
That's right.
We'll be very cranky, just to warn you.
Yeah. January videos are going to be very rough.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like the other night when I was sick. It'll be like, be quiet. Mark's gonna get a lot of silence. It's gonna be a lot of silence happening.
Gonna be angry.
We can be so angry. All right. Thanks so much, guys. We will see you on Monday night and then next Saturday. And we'll be done for this year. So if you want the traceable to this, it'll be available on patreon.com/AngelaFineArt. Probably either later on today or tomorrow. So I got to get it made. I usually do it straight from the finished design. So we'll just figure out how long it takes me. Sometimes it, takes me longer than others. This one shouldn't take too long though. So, all right. Thanks guys. And we will see you next time. Bye.